Welcome to Animal Crossing New Horizons. This game's been out for a while, and I am well aware of that, but I felt like playing it, so I'm gonna try and make this a series and do it semi-consistently on the channel, because I know that I kind of don't do that a lot. And you may be thinking, well, why is there no audio from the game? And that's because I am a goober and forgot to record it because I messed up the thing on OBS. So we're just going to kind of have to deal with this whole silent thing for this video. I should have it fixed in the newer ones. But while I'm still setting up the island, I'm just going to... I just want to say, if you end up liking the video, please subscribe. It would be very epic and based of you to do that. As you can see, this is taking a while. Don't worry, it gets better. First time I've really made a video this long. Also, the first time we've done a voiceover for a video. So just kind of bear with me while I try and, get my bearings here. And enjoy! So day one begins on the island, and we immediately head to the plaza, where Timmy makes sure that everyone made it off the plane okay, which we did. I mean, there's only 3 of us. It's not like, it's trying to keep track of like 50 people. We immediately get a tent, so we can go get settled somewhere on the island. Tells us how to access our inventory, which is pretty easy considering that I have in fact played a game before. And he gives us a map as well, just in case we get lost. Which hopefully we will not, because that will make me look very stupid for getting lost on my own island. But of course I immediately try and speedrun the game, only to realize I've not been taught how to pick an object up yet. Because apparently you need to be taught how to do that. So instead I just decide to skedaddle on over to the nearest river and put my house as close to it as physically possible. Now I'm finally all set up. But the others are not, so I decide to go help them. First I find Axel. He tells me the thing that everyone is told when they start playing Animal Crossing, because only 2 people can exist on your island besides you in the beginning of the game. They happen to have a total of 1 possible personality. And he is very flattered by the fact that I will help him with his tent. He hands me the setup for his tent, and now it is literally in my hands, as he has just said. Which was very funny to me. And I decided to put it near the river too, for other reasons than just it looks nice. I will be throwing him in there as soon as physically possible. I do not like Axel. But I mean, hey, at least that's 2 of us that's all set up. And I immediately go talk to Paula, who has a weird looking headband for some reason. And also a goofy catchphrase, as you can tell. Honestly, at this point, I don't feel like trying to find another good spot for someone, because I can't find a good spot for myself, so I just kind of picked one. And I just told her it was a good spot. And of course, she immediately had me visualize it, which would unfortunately delete a singular orange that I was preparing for when I had to go get oranges. And now we're all set up. All 3 of us. And she says her goofy catchphrase again, and realizes that I've apparently helped Axel with his tent, despite the fact that that was never implied. Even, like, remotely. And then we just kind of decide to head back to the plaza, because we might as well. I mean, there's one other person waiting for us there. Tom Nook gives us a little pep talk, I guess. I mean, it's not really a pep talk, but it's close enough. And discusses having an island warming party with us. He tells us about the supplies that we'll need and that most of us will just be working on preparing the plaza for the party. And by most of us, I mean literally everyone except me and him. Instead, I'm tasked with getting firewood and oranges, which he has not yet discovered are oranges, despite the fact that they look like oranges. So he tells me to go get some tree branches, and I just decide to collect everything that I will need. This would be a lot better with sound, but once again I was a goofball and forgot to record the sound. So hopefully in the next video that I do like this, it won't be nearly as dissatisfying as it was just now. Especially considering that I do a lot of those in this video. Just be warned. Because they make my brain happy. And hopefully they make yours happy too, because that would be great. But we finally got the campfire set up, and we're officially ready to have our party. Except not really, because we're still calling this place a deserted island, despite the fact that we're living here now, on account of having a tent, which is close enough to living somewhere. And he puts it up to democracy, to just vote on an island name. And of course, I decide to name it in spirit of my old Animal Crossing island, the Lobbu Isle, which apparently everyone is very fond of. Which saves me a lot of trouble of having to explain to Axel why Abland or something is not a good name for an island. And I get named the island resident representative, pretty much the same thing. Just because I picked a name. And I say howdy. Because we're cowboys here. And we speak cowboy. Where we say howdy. And rootin' tootin'. But I'm tired. So I get my bed, camping cot from Tom Nook, and immediately realize this place is disgusting. Let's make it look not disgusting and very haphazardly decorated. So I put some stuff down, figure I can pick stuff up again, and decide to go to sleep. Because I am very tired at this point. I mean, literally the entire day passed in like 2 minutes, and I'm apparently so tired that I hallucinate a dog playing a guitar. That was really funny. And then he died. It was very sad. And I was very rudely awoken by Tom Nook after grieving the death of funny guitar dog. But fortunately, I know exactly what he happens to want to speak to me about. So I am more than willing to get over the loss of funny dog to immediately be thrown into debt. But first, smartphone. And then debt, because, I mean, why not? But now I'm finally free to do whatever, except I am also heavily indebted by Tom Nook. And I forget what the game is for a second, before immediately deciding to raid my own mailbox with only 2 things in it, but I mean, that's 2 more things than usual. And I get a bunch of stuff I can barely use yet, besides to clutter up my inventory. And of course, the first thing you always do is open the camera, because this is very important. Now that I've taken care of the very important task of staring at my own player character with a camera for 27 seconds, I decide to enter Tom Nook's tent. Because it's time to finally do the fun part of the game, which is learning how to craft stuff with the DIY workshop that Tom Nook provides. But we need sticks. Or, in this case, branches. So I decided to go collect some branches just a few. And I head back into Tom Nook's tent, where I immediately try to use his bench to build a fishing rod, very slowly, which goes wonderfully. And then I make not a fishing rod, I make a bug rod very quickly. And then I learn what a bench is. It's crazy. I've been using a bench this entire time, and I don't know what a bench is. But now it's bug time, and fish time, and trash time, and suffering time, of course. My favorite time, apparently, because it happened 3 different times in a row. This one was especially painful, because I forgot I could buy a slingshot. And as you can tell by my little spins of rage, it was very upsetting. And I donated some creatures to Tom Nook, because I want to get as much stuff out of the way in the first day as possible. And he is very intrigued by this crucian carp, which he sends off to someone who is definitely not Blathers, and tells me that he'll take extra good care of the crucian carp specifically. I don't know why specifically the crucian carp, but I mean, good for that. Anyways, I lied to you. It was absolutely Blathers who he was sending it to. And he discusses inviting him to the island without anyone else's permission. I mean, for all he knows, someone could just absolutely hate Blathers. He could have, killed their family and burned their crops. But he's just inviting him anyways. Because that's just great. And now he needs my help to find a location for him, which unfortunately cannot be the ocean. But I do get some Nook Miles for stuff, which I completely forgot to collect, like a clown. And I even get some for taking a picture, which I forgot to do immediately when I had the camera open. But I get some more branches because all my tools are breaking, and that's not very epic, so I can just repair them. And, of course, forget about Blathers' tent, because who would want to give Blathers a home? That would be stupid. I get an even number of branches because I'm not a maniac, and immediately decide to go do a thing. That thing being sell stuff. Because why would I craft when I can just sell things to a small raccoon? And I sell just about everything in my pockets that I would like to sell from Bug Moment. And I get some Nook Miles for it, which is great because, it gets me closer to paying off my house. And then I learn how to make a slingshot, which will be great for when I inevitably find another balloon that I cannot shoot down, because I don't have a slingshot. So instead I can just be upset at the fact that I could have made one and avoided the situation entirely. And then I speedrun a custom design, because my face is looking quite bland and boring, and I need to spice it up a bit. So I decided to do that instead of actually doing anything remotely productive. As you do in Animal Crossing. And I name it because I don't know. And if this happens to be an actual design on anything, please let me know, because I would like to be made aware of that. It would be pretty cool, especially considering that I just kind of drew something without even thinking about it. And then I immediately get Nook Miles for using my phone to collect Nook Miles, which is always wonderful. And, of course, I see Balloon. My brain is hardwired to locate them, but it's too far away. There's no way I'm able to get it at this current time, and I have completely forgotten about that butterfly that is probably now annoying everyone, because I didn't collect it. So instead of actually, going out and getting that butterfly, I immediately try to craft something, only to realize I don't have the materials to make it. At this point, I need a weapon that's more accurate than a slingshot, so I decided to get a rock, which is not the weapon just yet. but it's a key ingredient in the weapon, because I'm making an axe, and unfortunately it is not used to kill people, just trees. And I also make another fishing rod because I haven't had one for like a good 20 minutes at this point, and I would like to catch fish. And then I collect wood instead, while that butterfly just sits there, uncollected. This is probably extremely annoying to quite a few people, that I'm just not collecting any of these bugs that I'm seeing. Because I know I saw that butterfly when I was doing this, and I didn't collect it. But, I mean, it's too late now. The butterfly is long gone. But I got what I paid for by not collecting the butterfly, which is getting stung 17 times by wasps, which I thought I could catch, but I could not, because I am a clown. And I got stung by wasps, which was just wonderful. And of course I continue to ignore the butterfly that existed, and instead build Blathers' tent finally, which was probably annoying even more people. What a great location. This is a joke, by the way. This is a bad location. But none of these have been in good locations, so you can't really blame me for having it in a bad location, because it was never in a good one to begin with. I put down some creatures so I can go get more creatures, like a squid and a sea bass, because of course it begins, and also a bitterling. And then I put some stuff in my house to get more Nook Miles. And oranges, I get some oranges just because. Except this is actually for Nook Miles, if you could believe that. Just get a ton of oranges, literally all of them that I can access, and while I'm at it, I might as well make a community board post, which is just a cry for help, but there is no one to save us at this point. Not even God can help. This is irredeemable. And I'm not even on fire right now. This statement still stands. Please, someone help. And then I remember that I put down Blathers' tent, to which Tom Nook congratulates me, and just kind of tells me not to go too far today, which I absolutely do not listen to at all. Because I also would like to not have a tent by the end of the day today. So I immediately sell all of my oranges once I remember what the A button is, apparently. And I get a total of 4,900 bells for it, which gives me some more Nook Miles with which to not pay off my house just yet, which is very upsetting to me because, yeah, that's just barely not enough. So I decided to sell some weeds. It's the fastest way to do it. I mean, it gives me a decent amount of money too, especially for this early in the game, so I might as well just do it. And I cannot be bothered to edit this into a satisfying compilation, so we just kind of have to deal with it being sped up heavily. And of course, before I can sell these, I need to make plant, because it will probably sell for slightly more than just weeds. And that's why I collected extra. But then I decide, you know what, it's time to sell all my weeds, which happen to be exactly enough to get the Nook Miles goal for selling 50 weeds. In addition to the plant, that doesn't count as that doesn't count for weeds though. So now I have exactly enough miles to pay off my house. But first, I might as well get some extra Nook Miles from the thing. And I remember that I need to talk to Tom Nook specifically to pay off my moving fees, instead of using the ATM for some reason. And he drains my Tom Nook account instead of my bank account this time, because I am I'm practically broke. And I immediately decide to throw myself back into debt. This time it's 98,000 bells, which should be slightly harder to pay off, so it doesn't take me an entire, 20 minutes to do it. Except in actuality, it's more like an hour and 40 minutes, because that's how long it took for this to happen. But that's still way too short of a time. So fortunately, now I have to actually do fun stuff to pay off my loans. And I get a Nook Miles app upgrade. So now I can get Nook Miles faster and not pay off my house with them. Because this time, I can't do that. Because that's cringe. And of course, I get Nook Miles for paying off my moving fees, which would have been nice before. But, I mean, I guess I'll accept them now. And I check my Nook Miles Plus goals, which seem pretty easy. Like taking the picture, which I do. And I also go out and get some bugs if my net doesn't break, and some fish, which are just water bugs. And finally, I get to shoot down a present after finding 3 of them total. And get cool pants, so that's cool. And I decide to buy some stuff for the Nook Miles goal again. I buy just a bunch of stuff and take some medicine so I stop being in agony. And I decide to plant some flowers just because that's one of my goals. And now I can finally achieve all 5 of these at once, which was the best part of this video. I'll just let you see this. It's great. Even without the sound, that was just amazing. It's just so pleasing to look at. And I decided, you know what, I should make some more stuff. Particularly, in this case, a workbench. So that I can craft at my house instead of breaking into Tom Nook's tent each time I need to make something. I also put down some fish and or bug. Both singular because I only had one. Which I had to make sure of multiple times in a row. Just because. Just want to make sure. You know, just had to check that I wasn't hallucinating the absence of bugs or fish. And I decided to just sell the rest of them that I don't need to Timmy. Because what else am I going to do with them? It's not like I can use a damselfly for much, let alone 2, in addition to a common butterfly. And it doesn't give me that much money, especially considering that I need about 98 times more than that to pay off my loan. But at least it's a small amount, but I get a cool fish, the yellow perch. So, I mean, that's good. I water some plants, and immediately go back to Timmy to sell him a thing. Actually, 3 things in total, except 4 because weeds. I just happen to be collecting them on accident. Either from, putting down fish and bugs to just straight up accidentally picking them up when I mean to pick up something else. And then I decide, you know what, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. And also I'm tired of playing Animal Crossing for now. So I go to sleep. By that I mean I just close the game. Anyways, bye.